Hello, we are in the kitchen this week to talk about our next habit, which is portion control. So, portion control for me has two major factors. One, what you're eating on or in, so your plate size, your bowl size, and then making sure that you're actually measuring out your portions so you are not overeating a product, right? When we look at a bag or a box, we are looking at the calorie count, right? But that is associated with the portions that are to that serving size. So if you are eating out of a bag or a box and you're not paying attention to how much you're eating, you can't really say that those calories have any indicator for how much you consumed. So my first tip is to eat on a smaller plate. So if you look, this is probably the typical dinner plate size, and it is huge, right? It is massive. And if you're like me, I like to feel like I am filling up my plate, right? It satisfies me. It makes me feel like I'm eating a lot of food. It just makes me feel like I'm not depriving myself. So when I have a big plate like this, and I try to put smaller portions on this big plate, it doesn't fill it up, right? It feels like I'm getting gypped. Like, I'm like, this is all I get to eat. This is so tiny. This is so little. And then we just get really down on ourselves and you feel like you're dieting and it's just depressing, right? So instead, we need to trick our brains into thinking that we're eating a lot of food. And by doing that is we put the same portions on a smaller plate. So this is probably considered a lunch size plate, but you see it's drastically smaller than the bigger dinner plate. So if you were to put those same portions that seemed so tiny on this big plate, if you put them on the small plate, you would fill up the entire plate. It would be overflowing. And your head, you would literally be like, oh my gosh, look at all this food I get to eat. I can't even fit it all on my plate. And I know that sounds crazy and super, super simple, but it works. I eat on a small plate no matter what I'm eating. And when I can fill up that plate, it signals to my brain, man, I am getting to eat a ton of food. It is overflowing on my plate and I'm satisfied. I sit down and get to eat. I get to finish my plate, which also, if you grow up like me, clean plate club was a thing. So you get that satisfaction of cleaning your plate, but you're eating smaller portions automatically because your plate can't hold as much, okay? Same thing for bowls. Don't use a bowl this size. I really need to get on this because I don't have a bowl smaller than this. And my other bowl that's super small is probably just like the inside of this. But same with bowls, right? If you fill up this whole bowl, you're eating an exorbitant amount, probably double or triple the portions of whatever it is, cereal, oatmeal, pasta, whatever it is you're putting in here. So again, smaller, I know it sounds crazy, but if you put something in a smaller bowl or a smaller plate, it looks like you're getting to eat more, and then you're more satisfied. You don't feel deprived. You're not feeling down on yourself because you don't get to eat as much as everybody else. And that way you're automatically shrinking your portion sizes without really trying too hard, okay? So make sure you do that tip first. Get rid of or stop using your big dinner plates, your big lunch plates, and your big bowls. The second tip is to really pay attention to the serving size of your package, okay? It is so easy for us to say, this is 260 calories a serving. Okay, a little high, not bad. But if I say 260, and then I open the bag and I pour until I fill up this bowl, okay, I can keep going. The whole package fits in this bowl, okay? So I'm gonna stop there, but that is a huge amount. But again, if you're like me and most of us, we pour until the container we're using is full. So that is a large amount of granola cereal, right? So you're probably pouring and saying, well, it's 260 calories, that's it. That's not bad. Okay, well, if we look at the serving size, it's 2/3 cup, okay? Got my 1/3 measuring cup. So I'm going to fill that once, and I'm going to fill it again twice. That is how much a serving size is versus how much I had in this bowl. And that's left over after I scooped out the serving size. So again, this isn't 230 or 260. This is probably closer to 600 calories, if not more. This is what the serving size looks like and should be. Now, this is what I'm talking about. When you have something that is this big and you're only scooping 2/3 in there, that looks so piddly. Okay, let me see if I can find a smaller bowl and show you what it looks like in that small bowl. Perfect. I'll use a little baby bowl. So this is a bowl for my daughter, but if I pour that serving, and I can't even get it in here, I'm making a huge mess. But if I pour that serving into this bowl, look at it. It's so full. Immediately, I'm like, God, that is a lot of granola because it's filling up the entire bowl. So again, I'm already feeling more satisfied from having to put the portions in this giant bowl versus the tinier bowl, okay? So really make sure when we think about portion control, we're not thinking about what we're eating. Yes, we want to improve what we're eating. We want to focus on fruits and veggies, protein, healthy foods, but that's not what this habit is about. This habit is about shrinking the amount of food you're eating. So you don't feel like you have to give up the granola, you don't have to give up the pizza, you don't have to give up the ice cream, but you need to watch your portions, right? Look at the container and truly measure out the correct portion size. So that way you're eating just one serving, you really have a true picture of the calorie count, and you can help slowly go down, right? It's not that eating one piece of pizza is ruining your nutrition goals. It's the fact that you probably eat more than one piece of pizza more than once a week, right? So we're trying to scale it back, all right? So those are my 2 tips I really want you to focus on this week. Eating on or in something smaller, right? Trick your brain, scoop it into something smaller, and really pay attention to the portion size, okay? Only eat the serving that is recommended on the container. And it goes without saying, but do not grab a bag of chips and just eat out of the bag. If the serving size is 12, you're not gonna stop at 12 and you're not gonna count, okay? So take the chips, take whatever it is out of the bag, count them in your bowl, in a Ziploc bag, on the plate, whatever it is, count them out, and then eat from there, okay? Never eat out of a whole bag of anything because you're just not gonna stop. I don't stop. No one has that kind of self-control, okay? So that's habit for this week, portion control. Think about shrinking the amount of food you're eating, not necessarily changing the type of food, but just eating a smaller amount of it.